Alrighty, everyone, Beyond the Spider-Verse. I feel like every time we've talked about this movie in the recent months on the Access Blockbusters Pod, it hasn't been good. And that's because, well, first of all, when Across the Spider-Verse came out, obviously a lot of people loved that film. I liked the film. I thought it was good. I was a little frustrated by the ending, and we'll talk about that as it pertains to Beyond the Spider-Verse. But, I mean, obviously it got huge attention. I think it won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, or maybe not. I could be wrong, but it was definitely nominated. It was a great film and a huge success for Sony Pictures. But recently, I mean, first of all, right after Across the Spider-Verse, there was a lot of controversy around the VFX, the visual effects artists, because it came out that reportedly they were being really overworked and really pushed to make, obviously, what is a gorgeous looking movie, but still you never want to run into a situation where you're overworking people to the point of exhaustion. So that was one thing. And then the film just kept on getting delayed. That's what we've been talking about for the most part over the past few months about Beyond the Spider-Verse Part 3 and what looks like to be the finale of this animated Spider-Verse series, at least for now. And so, at CINEMACON, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are I don't think the directors, but the heads, the executive producers, the gurus behind this project, they came out and they talked about Beyond the Spider-Verse. And so, the biggest and most concrete piece of information that we got is that this film will be releasing on June 4th, 2027. We'll talk about that and its significance in just a second. Few other things that they talked about. They showed some footage, and frankly, I'm not really going to dive into that footage description because it seems like a lot of recycled footage. I mean, it seems, first of all, it's recycled voice footage, I should say, voice audio footage. I don't know what you call it, but recycled audio from the first two films. And it looks like it was just showcasing a lot of the new art styles that they're going to do in the next film, which is exciting because obviously with every one of these Spider-Verse films, they try to push the envelope with the artwork. And that's definitely something that Chris Miller and Phil Lord talked about. They said this film is going to have a lot of new art styles, which of course is to be expected, and you know, I'm excited to see how they push the bounds even further. They also said it's going to pick up right after, so literally the moment after Across the Spider-Verse, which I don't know, is a good and a bad thing in the sense that it's frustrating. I really am not a big fan of movies or TV shows, seasons of TV shows that end and then they're like, wait till next season, and it's like, you know, wait till you see what happens, and it's going to pick up right after because we just decided to cut this story in half. And I get it. Look, I get it that some stories are so big that you got to, you know, figure out a way to cut it in half or do something like that. I feel like sometimes they literally cut it in half and they don't really even try to give these stories a resolution. And I'm not saying that Across the Spider-Verse was the most egregious example of this, but I am saying that it was a little frustrating to watch the ending of that movie, in my personal opinion, because I know a lot of people love that. So anyways, Phil Lord and Chris Miller say that Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to take place, or it's going to start right after the end of Across the Spider-Verse, basically confirming, yes, it is indeed still a part 2 of sorts. And, of course, one thing they did say in terms of its placement in the trilogy is that it's going to have a massive finale. So this is going to be, from all accounts, this is going to be the final one. Perhaps they do spin-offs. Perhaps they make a Spider-Gwen film, depending on what happens to her character. Maybe, you know, they're doing a live-action Spider-Man noir. I don't know if it's the exact same variant of that Spider-Man noir character that Nicolas Cage was playing in those animated films. We'll see. But it's exciting, right? It's, you know, who knows what the possibilities are, but it looks like this is going to be the finale of that trilogy. And like I said earlier on, this film, I think this is the best piece of news, right? This film finally has a release date. And look, it can definitely push it, you know, because I think that Beyond the Spider-Verse has already had a couple release dates in 2025 and 2026 already. So June 4th, 2027 is exciting because it seems like they are actually making progress this time instead of just staking a release date and saying, yep, it's going to come out. But still, one has to wonder, you know, I mean, if things get pushed back, it could be 2028, 2029. That's the cynical side of me talking. But the excited part of me says, well, they're presenting at CinemaCon. They did last year as well, I think. But still, they got a release date, June 4th, 2027. So that is the news on Beyond the Spider-Verse from CinemaCon. Are you guys excited for the film still? And are you guys willing to wait for another couple years? Because it looks like that's what's going to happen. Let me know in the comments down below.